Hello there. Welcome to yet another interesting lesson. But before I go further, I want you to know that vocabulary vectors it's so important. You know why? Because the way you speak is just as important as your appearance. If you're confident and your speech shows your confidence, it means you have left many others behind. It's as simple as that. It is a period 2 of vocabulary list 10. And as usual, I'm going to be introducing a lot of words to you. Okay? Now, for our lesson of today, we'll be looking at the new words I'll be introducing to you, their spellings, we'll look at the pronunciations, and then most importantly, we're going to be looking at the parts of speech that they belong to, how they can be used in sentences, and of course, their synonyms. Starting the list for today, we have our first word as neophyte. Neophyte. Now, I want you to take note of the spelling of the word, the pronunciation, and of course, the part of speech that it belongs to. It is a noun. Now, what does it mean? Let's find out. It is a person who is new to a subject, skill, or belief. At one point in time, we were all neophytes. Look at this. From just a beginner to a pro. It's something as saying from just a neophyte to a pro. By pro, they will mean a professional, right? I can say he started as a neophyte, but today he is a pro. So that's one way you can use the word in a sentence. Look at this. Excuse me, where do I throw this? Only a neophyte to ask this kind of question. Don't you agree? Because if she's in a neophyte, she would have known where to keep it. The neophyte asked where she could keep what she was holding. Okay? Now look at this. I can say the beginner's luck. The beginner's luck can also be said to be the neophyte's luck. He wished himself a beginner's luck. He wished himself a neophyte luck. So this is how we can use the word in sentences. The synonyms of the word include a novice, a beginner, an apprentice. Yes, an apprentice is a neophyte. And of course, we have the trainee, and then we have the rookie. So that is it for neophyte. Okay, now let's move on to the next word for today. Do you know what it is? You wouldn't know, I'll tell you. It's steadfast. Steadfast. Now, the first thing you need to know is that steadfast is an adjective. Okay, it is an adjective. Now, what does it mean? Can you figure it out? It means fixed in intensity, especially of a gaze, firm or determined in purpose, loyalty, or belief. Now, take a look at this. And I promise you, I will always be your faithful leader and easy weight loss. Faithful is steadfast. So if it's promising, it's telling them that he will be their steadfast leader. Now look at this. She's not blinking, right? She feasts her baby with a steadfast gaze of admiration, a steadfast gaze of admiration with so much love. You know who these people are? They are basketballers. They are so determined. So I can say the basketballers are steadfast in the decision to come out victorious. Probably that is why they are training so hard. Now, the synonyms of the word includes unwavering, not shaking, standing firm, constant, loyal. A loyal person is a steadfast person, faithful, and of course, we have resolute. Coming up next on our list of words for today, we have what we call paltry. Paltry. The first thing you need to know is that paltry is an adjective. I hope you can still recall what an adjective is. It is a part of speech. It is an adjective. Now, what does it mean? It means a small amount, meager, not very good, valuable or important. Not very good, valuable or important. So if I say a teeny tiny one, I am saying It is paltry. So small that it is insignificant. Guess what? A child is not happy. The food is really small. Don't you agree? So, in a sentence, I can say his teenage son is bitter because he only received a paltry amount of food on his plate. Imagine coming back from school so hungry only for you to be given a food like that. This baby gas is worthless. Okay, it is paltry, it is insignificant. That's why it's been thrown away. You see, son, you are not an insignificant part of life. You are life. Is saying, son, you are not a paltry part of life. You are life. You are not paltry. You are a very significant part of this kingdom. This actually reminds me of isn't Lion King? Yeah, of Lion King. And the synonyms of the word include scanty, worthless, we have trivial, and of course insignificant. Okay, I hope you're following my lessons. Our next word is incorrigible. Incorrigible. The first thing you need to know is that incorrigible is an adjective. Incorrigible. Take note of the past of speech, the pronunciation, of course, the spelling of the word. Do you know what it means? Because he is asking, what does incorrigible mean? Can you tell me? It simply means difficult to control, firmly rooted, not able to change. When someone is not able to change, we can say the person is what? Incorrigible. Okay? So I can say taking care of incorrigible kids can be very difficult sometimes. Some persons will even tell you all the time. Alright, men like you cannot change. By men here, I'm referring to both men and women. Let's say men like you are incorrigible. You cannot change. Now look at this. Account balance is coming down. We don't know why it is. Let's find out. Oh, there's a thief in the store. No wonder the account balance came down. He's threatening with a gun and he has run out. He's an incorrigible thief and has been sent to jail many times. Meaning he goes to jail and comes back even worse than he was before he left. He's clapping. He was caught sleeping, now he's clapping. I can say when he didn't improve, the teacher decided that he was incorrigible, meaning that he cannot change. The synonyms of the word includes incurable, unmanageable, hardened. Okay, now our next word for today is angst. Angst. Now the first thing you need to know is that angst is a noun. Now let's find out what the word means. Are you ready? It is a feeling of deep anxiety or dread. Usually that is not specific. I swear it, please let us go. What do you think is going on here? They are so scared that they even had to hide. Now look at this. It will perfectly describe angst. What can you see in them? Fear, apprehension. You can see that, right? You're so scared. Their chest tightened with angst, with fear, with apprehension. Now look at this. He was having so much fun until the sharks came along. So now he is so scared that he doesn't even know which way to turn. I can say the situation he found himself in led to his angst. Don't you agree? It's enough for someone to be so scared, to be apprehensive. Look at this. The fear is boldly written. I can apparently sense the angst. It's so obvious. The synonyms of the word includes fear, unease, insecurity, and of course, apprehension. Our last word for today is demagogue. Demagogue. The first thing you need to know is that demagogue is a noun. It is a noun. Take note of the spelling, the pronunciation, and the past of speech it belongs to. Now, what does it mean? It is a political leader who seeks support by appealing to popular desires and prejudices rather than by using rational arguments. Okay, now look at this, you will fully understand what it means. Gulping, laughing. He's talking and everyone is just laughing. They are just laughing, meaning he's carrying them along. And as a politician, you have to be a demagogue. A politician is a gifted demagogue with particular skill in manipulating the press. The politician rather is a gifted demagogue. You have to be very gifted to be able to carry the press along. This is a future to believe in. Everybody wants that. So there's a way they go about making the speech, and they just pull everyone along. You see people laughing and nodding their heads. He was labeled a demagogue. Okay? Everyone wants a decent standard of living. So if he's talking about that, most persons will be interested. The demagogue has won people's support. Why won't he? Even those that don't want to work hard, lazy ones, they still want a decent standard of living. So, the synonyms of the word includes agitator, firebrand. A demagogue is an agitator and is a firebrand. So this is where we'll call it a day for today's lesson. But before I go, I want you to take a look at this word. Ambition. Do you have one? Now, I want you to know something. When ambition forces your desire to succeed, you are virtually unstoppable. So today, you tell yourself that if you don't have one, you have to have one. You have to be ambitious. Work hard towards it, and you see things turn around for you. So until I come your way again in the next lesson, it's bye for now. Stay safe.
Be good.
And
Bye.
be good.